Hello everyone, a very warm welcome to you. Hope your week has gone well. My name is Nick and this is, well, it's the Friday chat thing, isn't it? Hopefully in the future, not too much of the distant future, we'll be back on the walk because, well, in the UK, you might be in a different country. In the UK, we've been told that by April the 12th, I think we can go on walks already, but the rules of going out working and being vlogs is a bit clouded. But from April the 12th, hairdressers will be back open and pubs as well. Now, I'm not sure I'll go back to the hairdressers again after buzzing my hair a few times and now getting like the hang of it, which I think hairdressers might lose a little bit of income, but hopefully they're doing okay. On my way to the bus stop this morning, in fact, I saw my hairdresser across the other side of the street, and they waved at me and I waved back, and we had a bit of a conversation but couldn't really hear each other that well due to passing traffic in the middle. But in the middle, at the end of it, he did a little dance, and I think, I wonder what he thought I said. I waved and did a salute, and then he was gone. But hope all hairdressers are okay. Where I live, there's a bit of a saturation of hairdressers in the high street, so it might be a little bit tough. But although I think guys might be going to the hairdressers less, I guess women will still be going, and they must have like Rapunzel type hair. If you've got Rapunzel type hair, comment below. But anyway, it's been a tough time. We're here to try and defeat stress. 2020 was a bit of a pig. 2021 seems like we're going to do a bit of recovery. Now, I get a lot of emails. Most of it is spam. A lot of it's from Amazon, from items that I might have looked at and some items I've never looked at, and from some outlets that I've never heard of before, but maybe my details have been sold or I went to them. Quite often the items might be a little bit far-fetched to what I normally would buy, but recently one that threw me a little bit. It was a Camouflage Underpants. Yes, you heard me correctly, Camouflage Underpants. Now, I can't envisage a situation where I'd be in the Amazon rainforest just in my underpants and need the benefit of camouflage. Now, I've probably jinxed it now, but that was a bit far left field. I mean, what is the point of camouflage underpants? They'll be under your normal clothes, so something's gone very seriously wrong if that actually happens. Very, very bizarre. I mean, combat trousers and all that sort of stuff, but camouflage underpants? We live in a very, very strange world, but that's the sort of spam I got. Yeah, I'll probably find myself in the Amazon rainforest now. I hope Wi-Fi is okay, but I wouldn't put you through one of these in my underpants, unless I wanted you to call the emergency services or something like that. But what is the weirdest, keep it clean, what is the weirdest spam email stuff you've got for items you need to buy? I'd be quite interested in hearing from you. So I hope you've liked the videos this week and the live streams as well. We've done 2 live streams, ZX Spectrum and Mega Drive, because I'm going to rotate through the 3, which I'll come to in a minute. But just a quick recap of the games that we've done this week. Tend to do about 6 recorded games on various systems. But the one I enjoyed the most was Test Drive 2 The Duel by Accolade in 1992 on the Super Nintendo, yes, the SNES. Now, I still prefer the Amiga version, although that's vastly inferior in terms of programming. It's a lot more jerky and got a few things missing from it that this SNES version has. But I still liked it. I mean, back in the day on the Commodore Amiga, I was screaming out for some new scenery discs. I had the Master Scenery California, where you race from, well, all the way to Mexico, and European scenery disc. I already wanted more. And there we go. If I knew that there was a Super Nintendo version, and indeed Mega Drive version, I probably would have had a look at those. Now, the console versions play a bit different to the computer versions, but it's still got that thumping soundtrack there, which I was a huge fan of. So that was my favourite one. I'm always a sucker for racing games anyway. I don't know what your favourite genre of games are, but that was stood head and shoulders above anything else this time round. Also liked on the ZX Spectrum, well, that was a much more basic game, Blasteroids. It was a sequel to Asteroids from the arcades, with a few extra bits on it. You're going through different sectors, you can play 2 players at the same time, but the main thing is you can switch between 3 different ships. Now, if you missed any of these reviews or want to see them again, do check them out in the playlist or recent videos there. So Test Drive 2 and Blasteroids, they were my favourite ones with, well, Test Drive 2 is a long way ahead in my opinion. Other games had a few things that could have been better really. Batman Returns on the Mega Drive was very, very dark, which was commentated on before. I think the Super Nintendo version is a lot lighter, so it would have benefited from that. You have to defeat the Penguin and Catwoman, so it's based loosely on the film by Tim Burton, starring Michael Keaton as Batman, Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman, who's my favourite Catwoman, and, well, I like Eartha Kitt as well from the original, but Michelle Pfeiffer and Danny DeVito as the Penguin. Another game which went back to like comic strips. His character first appeared in the Daily Mirror, I think in the 50s. Quite a dull game really if you're unaware of the cartoon character, but it was Andy Cap, where you must try and survive a week on your gyro and by doing various things and avoid paying your rent, I think. There's probably a bit more to the game than what I experienced, but as we know, it's all about what you would have got out of your first or second go. If you're unfamiliar with Andy Cap and can't really get into the source material, similar games to this with that comic book style are Snoopy and Garfield as well, which I thought those two were a little bit more fun, but it might be just because I'm more familiar with those as actual characters. So it's okay what it did. It reminded me a little bit of Wally Week, but Wally Week's got a job and everyone's Wally games are a lot better than this in terms of entertainment. And there's only two other games, so I'll probably mention that as well. On the Commodore Amiga, an inertia game called Gravity Falls 2. Mentioning asteroids again, you control the ship in asteroids. I preferred the first Gravity Falls game because I think that more lended it towards one-player game playing. Two-player on Gravity Falls 2 you need, so I struggled with it in one player to try and make it entertaining. The version I played was a special version made for the makers of Amiga Power magazine. And it's always good when you got a free game on a computer disc. If you hated it after a while, you would copy over it. And I did like those magazines back in the day, more in particular Your Sinclair, the Spectrum ones, and the Amiga ones as well, Amiga Power, or Amiga Format, or Zero and the One. It was back in a day where you didn't really have a bulging internet as you have now. I couldn't see any YouTube videos to see what games were good and bad, so it's all depending on what your friends told you, or if you more importantly got a magazine and seeing what the reviews were like. There wasn't always accurate reviews in there, so you still avoid a stinker, and sometimes your ambition would get away with you, and I really wish I'd read a magazine before buying, well, Jack and the Beanstalk on the ZX Spectrum, because otherwise I wouldn't have bought it. But free cassettes, some great cover discs on those magazines. I think Batty was one as well that happened there, and yeah, been a lot of good ones there. So magazines back in the day, super duper ooper. And the only other game I looked at was a homebrew by Gabriel Moore, which hopefully I'll come to a few other ones of his. I know he recently released one in 2021, which I want to have a look at. It's Donkey Kong Reloaded again. Already done Donkey Kong Reloaded, Reloaded again. He did comment on that video, the author, and that he left it a bit open-ended if anyone wanted to add stuff to it, and also for beginners using AGD, which that was made on Arcade Game Designer, and that's a good thing to do, so people getting started on that. So I hope you like the content. We've done the live streams as well, which we come to every to try and ease a bit of stress, talk a bit of nonsense. Tuesday's always ZX Spectrum stuff, so we'd always have a look at that. I noticed a thread going on the other day about people discussing what games I should live stream next, which I did have a look at and liked quite a few of the comments, so thank you if you're involved in that. Shows that the channel is getting a little bit of traction, which is good, in trying to make it expand, because we try and make it as fun as possible and relaxed as possible. And also as well, normally on the Wednesday or the Thursday we do a 2-hour Commodore Amiga stream as well, but I thought it'd be interesting, I think I mentioned this last week, to rotate it a bit. So last time we went on the Sega Mega Drive, went for 2 hours then in that slot, and next week we'll probably do Commodore 64 and might rotate it round in a free to keep it nice and fresh there. I thought maybe I was doing too many streams at one point to people to get the interest there, because you can have too much of one thing, can't you? So we'll probably keep it to the two going forward, with the occasional bonus one which might last an hour and a half, but we'll keep it light. I did enjoy doing the Mega Drive stream. Those the graphics on those are really good. There's a load of Mega Drive games there. So if you haven't seen any of the streams or any of those videos I mentioned, please give them some love. Have a look at those. And if you want to comment on the live streams, it's always best if you can interact live while it's actually going on. But I do keep an eye on the comments there by getting an alert about comments afterwards, people joining in, and I will answer those as well to try and make it feel like you were live. Or I might not answer immediately, but it'll probably be in the same day unless the comment I don't understand. So they're all going strong. Next Wednesday or Thursday probably be a Commodore 64 stream for fans out there of the Commodore 64. Don't be there in your camouflage pants though, that's all I'm saying, or else I won't see you. Now, I do keep an eye on sort of like events in space as well. No, I haven't got supervision, but I mentioned it last week. You might know about the Mars Perseverance rover, which very recently landed on, well, Mars, unbelievably enough. It's sending back some high definition pictures already. It sent a great Panama and a panoramic view, I should say. Didn't send any Panama hats back, but it's landed in a crater which is believed to be either a river or a lake bed at some point. There's a few smooth rocks about, which would indicate that a fluid, possibly water, went over it at some point to cause that kind of a smooth erosion. And I think they're going to do drills or look for other evidence to try and find either microbes or fossils of ancient Martian life, and that's been really exciting. So I'm keeping an eye on that. It might be many months before we get any results back, but in the meantime it's sending some absolutely wonderful pictures back. You can check that out on NASA's Twitter feed, or I think there might be one for NASA Perseverance as well, so have a look at that if you're into your space. So thank you for the support on those live streams as well, via the super chats and the Ko-Fis. That's really helping the channel keep running, because I'm trying to make it gradually better. This camera will get replaced at some point as well, but also as well, thank you to the members there. All money gets funneled back into the channel to do that. And if you want to know what the memberships is about, if you click on the join button, it doesn't commit you straight away, but for just $1.99 a month you can support the channel and help it grow. But as I always say, only do it if you can afford it. The videos always be free to go up. There might be the occasional one behind the members wall, but they'll always be free to go up there. And it's all about easing stress. If you're having a tough time, that's what we aim to do. We don't take it too seriously, and we'll give it a good old kick in the face. Yes, good stuff. So thank you to the members. Anyone on the second tier and above, I can give you a shout out for any projects you're doing, any websites you're working on, or anything outside also. So thank you this week goes to Jason Smith, thank you, Squidworth, Stuart Laycock, thank you fellas, Natty Nicky and Claire Johnson. I know a lot of you see a lot of the live streams. I see you quite regularly in the chat box, so thank you there. James O'Grady, John Roby and Jeffrey Searby, thanks guys. Steve Norman as well. Now Steve, I always shout out his website blog because it's a very entertaining read. That's retroarcadia.blog. That's retroarcadia.blog. I had a look on there quite recently. Always well written articles, always good fun, but recently had a look at a game called Cyber Shadow on the Xbox One. I'm not sure if that's crossed over to the PlayStation as well. He might have mentioned it, but it's a game I'm not very familiar with, so it was good having a read of that. So check that one out. There was some previous blogs he did as well about anthems, his favourite anthems from different games as well. It was like a top 25, I think, or top 20. But yeah, so check that one out if you want an extra retro gaming fix. Hello as well to Lemmy Barnett. Steve Q, thank you. Phil Hill, Rossi Bossy, thank you. Now Rossi Bossy, as I shout out always, is working on a game called Super 3D Pixel Racer, which I'm doing a lot of the voice work for, which please he's involved me onto that. But it's getting to a point, making great progress on that Formula 1 type racer. And now it has a target release date at the end of April, and hopefully it'll be available on Steam for PC gamers. There might be an Indiegogo campaign, a small one releasing next week as well. If that's the case, I'm going to shout that out as well. But a great racer. Check out Rossi's Twitter site. I'll put his website page up. I've probably done it already actually as I gabber away. Check out his website as well. But it's looking like a real good game coming together. Really lots of fun. And it's really going the extra mile to put extra bits in, like wheel spin at the start, computer AI, different tracks, varied tracks. It's looking really good. Okay, so thank you also to Chono Bagging, Jason Holmes, thank you, Andrew Gibson, and thank you as well to Grey Hulk too. Thank you Grey Hulk, much appreciated there. And on the upper tier also, so this has helped me really a lot, it's Martin Rymel, thank you. Richard Mitten, you managed to catch a couple of streams. I know it's not easy where you are, but thank you for doing so. Really appreciate to see you in there, real good fun. Tom, now Tom, if you want me to shout out your YouTube at all for anything you're doing, just let me know and I will shout it for you. Don't know if you do, but the offer is there. Graham Bebke, thank you, my friend in Australia. I know you're very busy, so thank you. I've seen you there in a few streams also and in the comment sections on some of the vids, so thank you a massive amount, thank you. And also as well, big thanks to Julie Monkton, who's always very busy. Thank you, Julie, for doing the vid caps you do on the live streams. It really brings it to life, and advertise the channel as well, so thank you. They're really inventive. But yeah, Julie's website, which you're probably familiar with, but it's got an extra page now regarding historic maths books, which might give you a touch of nostalgia for those. Slightly different link, but largely the same. It's schoolreading70sbooks.weebly.com. Now here's the bit that's going to test me. /maths hyphen was it text-books.html. So that's schoolreading70sbooks.weebly.com /maths text-books.html. But you know, only if you remember the first bit, schoolreading70sbooks.weebly.com, you can navigate to other bits of the site as well. Really lots of information there, really lots of different books in different categories, but the new thing to look at is the math stuff. So thank you very much. Now there is going to be, you know this as well, members know what videos are going up next week also, because you know, by becoming a member you get access to the members section regardless of what tier you're on. But there's a couple of ZX Spectrum games that are going live tomorrow. I'll be at work for one, maybe the second one, 10 and 3, and a couple of retro gamings on Sunday as well. So there's always going to be 4 at the weekend. Thank you for watching again. It is really appreciated to keep this thing going. Don't let stress get to you if you're feeling it hard at the moment. We can kick this thing in the face. We come together. We're gradually building as a community, and hopefully, well, my main aim is hopefully yours as well, to build up enough super force to actually smash it to pieces. So I've got an email. What's this about? Sky News. Well, I don't need to know about that. Very strange. Anyway, they just wanted to get into the video. So till next time, have a great weekend, have a great evening, take great care of yourself. There's a lot of greats here, and I'm very fond, goodbye.
Goodbye. Goodbye, E.
And Jenkin.